Hey champ! In this lesson, we will be diving into an exciting world that lives beneath the surface of the text we read, the realm of implied meaning. Being able to read between the lines is a skill that will help you ace your exams and also navigate the nuances of everyday communication. So, what does it mean to read between the lines? It's all about sniffing out the hidden meanings, the subtle messages, and the unspoken truths that the author doesn't directly state but wants us to understand. It's like being a detective, seeking clues to crack a case wide open. Look at this example. Suppose a friend says, "Sure, you can borrow my car as long as you don't mind that it might break down at any moment." On the surface, your friend said, yes, you could borrow their car, but if you read between the lines, they're probably hoping you won't because the car is unreliable. Now let's take this skill to a test. Identifying implied meaning in passages involves two key steps: comprehension and interpretation. First, you need to understand the literal meaning of the text. Then, you consider the context, the author's word choice, and the emotions or ideas associated with those words to infer the implied meaning. Imagine a passage that reads, "As Ada walked into the empty house, the silence wrapped around her like a cold, wet blanket." Literally, this sentence tells us that Ada has entered an empty, silent house. But what is implied? The author compares the silence to a cold, wet blanket, which usually brings discomfort, not comfort. So, the implied meaning might be that Ada feels lonely, sad, or uneasy in the silent house. The author doesn't outrightly say, Ada felt sad, but we can infer it from the metaphor and the emotions associated with it. Here's another example. Every morning, John would wake up at 5 a.m., lace up his worn-out sneakers, and head out for a run. He would move through the quiet streets, the rhythmic pounding of his footsteps a lonely echo in the pre-dawn darkness. His friends told him he was crazy, running in the freezing cold when he could be wrapped up in a warm bed. But for John, those solitary miles were his sanity. Can you tell the implied meaning here? On the surface, we know John likes to run early in the morning, but by reading between the lines, we can infer much more. The description of John's worn-out sneakers implies that he is a committed runner. The lonely echo of his footsteps and his choice to run even in the freezing cold suggest a sense of dedication, maybe even obsession. His friends don't understand why he'd choose discomfort over the comfort of a warm bed, implying that John might be somewhat of an outsider or eccentric. When we read that those solitary miles were his sanity, it is not explicitly stated but implied that running might be an escape or a way for John to manage stress or difficult emotions. Mastering the art of reading between the lines will open up a whole new level of understanding, so pay attention to every detail when you read. Bye for now.